Alright everyone, how's it going? We're going to do a quick video to get out some information to you all. I'll start with visitation. We have about 4 or 5 points that I'm going to go over. But the first will be visitation. So visitation is different for North and South. Of course, we have 2 different clienteles or 2 different energies or personnel for those 2 different buildings. The first, let's do South because it's the simplest. So South has 24-hour visitation across the board, period. Everybody in the building has 24-hour visitation. Those individuals are allowed to check in 2 people at a time, Howard students, for up to 3 days. After those 3 days, they must take a 24-hour break. That's the general policy. The policy for individuals who are not Howard students or who have provided us with a state ID versus a Howard ID is the same as last semester, pretty much. So the individual who provides us with a Howard ID, they can stay 24 hours with no checkouts for up to 3 days. The individual who provides us a state ID or a passport or some other form that is not an actual Howard ID, they must check out at 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday or 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. All right, so that's policy for South. For North, the underclassmen, the policy is still the same. Sunday through Monday from 12 noon to 12 at night. Regardless, Howard ID, no Howard ID, it doesn't really matter. And then on the weekends from 12 noon to 2 a.m., Howard ID, no Howard ID, it doesn't really matter. The difference for getting those individuals out who have not checked out in their appropriate times is slightly different. So now RAs will not be automatically coming down to assist. We will first gauge the situation. If there is anybody that needs to be removed from the building or needs to be contacted, after we compile our list, our information, record our information, then we will call the RAs to come and assist us with retrieving those individuals. So before, they would sometimes just come down and sit there and be waiting, like, is there anybody, or I can get somebody, whatever. They're not going to come down automatically anymore. We're going to have to contact them to come assist us. So in North, that's a really big thing, simply because in North, we don't have that issue as much. So the upperclassmen portion of that for North is it's pretty much the same policy from last semester as well. Individuals who are upperclassmen have 24-hour visitation, but only one person overnight, meaning they have to, pretty much meaning after 12 from Thursday to Sunday, only one person or one guest is allowed for 24-hour visitation. The weekends, it's one person after 2 a.m. Again, what that simply means is at noon the next day, the individual can again start checking in an additional person. Doesn't mean that at noon the person has to leave or that one person that was checked in has to leave, but at noon the individual who's checking in, who is an actual resident, they can then begin to check in an additional person. So that's when that is. Okay, so that's pretty much visitation for North and South. If there are any questions, concerns, please let me know. For the visitation logs, we will do especially for the 72-hour thing goes for all upper classes, so that goes for North as well. These individuals will pretty much have up to 72 hours, which we probably won't be an issue at all because most individuals will check out simply to go to class, all that kind of stuff. So it's probably not going to ever be an issue, but just in case, you have to kind of watch out for cohabitation. So the process for keeping track of these individuals is a little bit different. So the visitation logs pretty much look the same. Also, if, say, before we had the limit of 6 people being checked in per day, since that's now gone, if someone is checking in more than 6 people for some reason per day, then just kind of type them in. So it'll say Micah Holmes checked in, pick somebody, Brianna Crawley, and 5 other people, right? So what I personally would do would go underneath Brianna Crawley and type in the new person. So instead of being Brianna Crawley, it may be Brandon Bowen. So it should say Brianna Crawley and Brandon Bowen underneath, and then for that whole kind of cell system, it should be two people instead of just one. So, for instance, if it's like that little green section where it's all green for like one person, that might actually have two people inside of it to facilitate it if it's one of 6 people. Kind of don't have an issue with that either. So it may not happen, but if it does happen, um, that's how to handle that. So to deal with the 72-hour thing, so what we're going to do is, or what is going to be on the Gmail account or is on the Gmail account at this time, is that there's going to be created 2 filters. One filter is going to remove everybody who has not checked in any one period. The next filter will then remove everyone who has checked out all of their guests. So then what you will be left with is all the individuals who have not checked out their guests for that day. What the requirement is going to be for the daytime shift is to, when you come into work for the previous day, you need to turn those 2 filters on in the visitation log so that you can see if there is anybody who is still checked in from the previous days. All right. All right. So that's how we're going to see. It's going to be like one, pretty much it's going to be left open for all the days with the filters on so that you can see. Before you turn these filters on, though, you do need to copy and paste or simply duplicate the spreadsheet from yesterday. So the full process is this. I come into work, looking at the visitation log. I duplicate that page for today so that I now have a full roster for today that I can check people in off of. Then I go back to the previous day. I turn the filters on so that I can see who is still left in the building. All right. So what you will also have to do is, for the current day, is remove all the people who are already completely checked out. What you can do or need to do is leave those individuals who are still checked in on the roster so that we can keep a record of it. Okay, so that's the full process for that. It's a bit complicated, but it is the best system we have at the moment. Any suggestions, please feel free to let me know so that we can create a better system for everybody and that we can do less work and still get our money. All right. Okay, so that's visitation. I'm going to do the rest really, really quickly just because I don't want to make this video too long. All right. In regards to the non-visitation list, so again, we are going to have a full list of non-visitation, but we'll also have it marked in red on the visitation list. So just to be safe, you can check both, but it should be marked in red, like the name should be highlighted in red. If those names are not highlighted in red for your building and you realize that there's people on the list who do not have visitation, please reach out to Sierra Ciano or Brianna Crawley stating that you need the roster to be updated and that as a concierge, you do not have the authority to update the roster. So please please watch out for that. Also, for the non-visitation list, as concierge, we do not have the right, the ability, the privilege, or the authority to put anybody on the non-visitation list. If you're RA, no. If you are a concierge, no. If you're a supervisor of concierge or director of concierge, no one but an official management personnel of College Hall can put someone on the non-visitation list, or someone in Red's life has to do it as well. And that those instructions should come from Brianna Crawley, Miss Spady, Mr. Van, like GAs, Brianna Crawley, Isiano, or Tiffany and Spady. That's it. Anyone else, like, are already been like, well, my girls ain't gonna handle visitation, so you can take them off. Like, until it goes through the proper chain and it gets approved, they still have visitation. Now, as concierge, we can refuse visitation for the moment, for the time, for your shift, whatever, for someone who attempts to like breach protocol. So if someone like tries to sneak in, feel free to tell them no, they're not able to check in afterwards because you just attempted to trespass into the building. And please exit. Thank you. So yes, we can refuse it for the time being for someone's actions, but we cannot officially put them on the non-visitation list for a duration of time. That is not our ability. All right, so that's that. The other thing is maintenance. Again, we are never to call maintenance ever, 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 ever. Always call an RA to go look at the situation, who will then contact a GA, and then they'll handle it from then on. We do not ever for any instance, for any reason, contact on-call maintenance. All right. Customer service. So I just been around a lot, and I'm noticing that like a lot of us aren't greeting individuals in the lobby. So what I just we need to be greeting everyone. When people enter, people are exiting, just say good morning, good afternoon, how are you? People come back, welcome back. How was class? How was your day? And I get sometimes we have a million people, so that's not always the best course of action because it slows everything down. But at the least, we should be saying, hello, what is your room number? Not just room number or just looking at them, waiting for them to say their room number. So we need to communicate and provide excellent customer service. So things like welcome back. If someone says thank you, you can say my pleasure, um, you're welcome, no problem. Just customer service to make sure that we're providing an excellent service and not simply just manning the front desk. All right, that is all that I have. Um, that's it. Any questions, please feel free to send me emails. Um, some of the stuff I will go over again Saturday to assist in our face-to-face meeting. So, but until then, please feel free to send me emails. Please don't text me, but send me emails. All right. Thank you. Please watch. Talk to you later.